All right. So how do we look for information these days, right? That is a question that we ask ourselves, and I believe we tend to Google literally everything, right? So we use that machine to find new stuff every day, novelties, be it the next the restaurant around the corner, be it the soccer results, everything. We Google everything. Now just imagine for a second, what would be if the first 20 or 30 pages of your Google results would be absolutely empty? So you wouldn't see the novelties, you wouldn't see new things happening around you. Now, exactly that is the sad reality for scientists and researchers around the world, working for pharmaceutical companies, working for institutions, working for large societies. Because the scientific communication of novelties and recent results happen very analog on scientific conferences, for example, around the world. And that is true for all disciplines. So, in fact, 98% of scientific output in general is not accessible. So I cannot really look into current mistakes, current failures. I cannot look into the current process at all. So that creates a lot of inefficiencies in the scientific space. So what all of these bright minds have all in common is that they pass a very clear and kind of a structured way from the beginning, from the idea until a result is being published in a journal. They're going up and down and back and forth. So it's a process that has a lot of failures. But the problem is that the path of it is vastly hidden. So there's only a fragment of the scientific process that is actually accessible, and I can learn from it. Now, as I said in the beginning, one of the greatest sources for that kind of exchange are totally offline scientific conferences. And this is exactly where we dive in. So we have created the largest platform for early stage research for exactly that type of content that is presented on conferences around the world. So how do we do that? We have a three-step approach. The first element that we do is we actually go to these conferences and we go to scientific societies and associations and help them in digitizing their conferences in order to be from offline documents, right, on the conference to an online world. The second element is we actually make it discoverable, so we organize it, we index it, we analyze the document that people upload on our platform, we attribute the necessary elements so that you can find it, we integrate them into discovery platforms, and then the third element, which is the one that we monetize on, is we make it accessible at scale to scientific institutions and pharmaceutical companies. And conferences that we look in to just give you a little bit of an insight on how they are structured. They might look like that, so very data-driven conferences where we suggest live what to look at, topics that might be interesting for that researcher or for that pharmaceutical companies. And they have a dashboard that looks a little bit like that, where they can see live trends on documents that are uploaded, on topics that are heavily interacted with. So we have been growing quite nicely in the last 3 years. So the document base has grown and grown, and we're acting global. So we work with the largest scientific institutions around the world and host all their data and documents on our platform. And we have been fortunate enough to work with large pharmaceutical companies and large institutions in a constant exchange. So what is our business model? We have 3 products that we provide. The one product is the discovery platform, so we actually give them access to our platform for early stage research. The second element is we integrate into the data warehouse or scientific or research information systems from institutions. And the third element is we offer workflow tools for pharmaceutical companies and societies alike. And all of that is obviously not possible without a great team. So we gathered a lot of experts in the field from academia, but also from pharmaceutical companies. We've raised a little bit over 6 million from great VCs in Germany and Switzerland. So what our dream here is, you remember that up and down and back and forth, our dream is really to create a full-fledged, accessible scientific process from that idea until the end, until the publication has come out or until the discovery is being made. And by doing that, we strongly believe that we can accelerate scientific breakthroughs in oncology and diabetes research and all these very relevant fields dramatically. You saw the empty Google pages, the first 20, 30 empty Google pages. Our dream is really filling the Google pages so that scientists and researchers can actually get access to it with a palm of their finger. Thank you very much.